250 years ago, the United States started as a complete garbage dumpster fire. The constant twists and turns threatened to destroy the country at every point. The founding fathers were constantly guessing and praying the country wouldn't disintegrate before their eyes. The American colonists were fighting the greatest military power since the Mongols, the British. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison all enslaved African Americans, while Samuel and John Adams were adamant about true liberty for all. Even Mount Rushmore was built upon decades of U.S. Native American conflict. Shays' Rebellion almost caused America to collapse because it couldn't do crap to stop it. A new constitution was drafted in 1787 to stabilize the country, but vicious internal debates limited its effectiveness.
The flaming garbage fire burned bright from 1787 to 1800. The U.S. barely survived under George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson. Washington tried to maintain tranquility and neutrality, but his own cabinet imploded between Adams, Jefferson, and Alexander Hamilton. The Whiskey Rebellion and XYZ affair nearly incinerated the young nation leading up to the Revolution of 1800. Adams enacted the Alien and Sedition Act of 1798, effectively gutting the First Amendment. Jefferson hurled mud at Adams for this aberration, rightfully so. The Revolution of 1800 cast political power peacefully between mortal enemies Adams and Jefferson, putting out the fire for a millisecond. The complete American garbage dumpster fire burned the White House down to the ground. The era of good feelings was a complete lie. The Democratic Republicans were the singular party, but its North, South, and West factions nearly ripped the country apart in 1824. The corrupt bargain pitted Andrew Jackson against John Quincy Adams and the elites. The greatest military power since the Mongols, the British, fought the US for 3 years. James Monroe and John Quincy Adams warned Europe to stay out of the Western Hemisphere with the Monroe Doctrine, risking it all only 50 years after the Declaration of Independence. The British Navy completely dwarfed American ships. The Raging Garbage Fire burned much of the U.S. post-1824, the era of bad feelings split the country in four and slavery cut the country in two. John C. Calhoun threatened nullification, but Andrew Jackson forced him to comply. The Trail of Tears was an abomination in 1830. William Lloyd Garrison, the Liberator, worked with the North Star, Frederick Douglass, to attack slavery as an institution. The violent bad man John Brown sparked Bleeding Kansas, where both sides tried to kill each other, and the Civil War. The U.S. hung by a thread throughout the smoking fire. The Raging Garbage Fire almost faded, but instead shattered like glass. Bleeding Kansas split the U.S. down the middle, making the rivers red with blood. President James Buchanan watched the country dissolve into shards, while South Carolina was seceded from the U.S. entirely. The country split into four in 1860, cutting the country with a knife. The U.S. got aimed so hard it imploded into three sections: North, Middle, and South. Fort Sumter was the riftlet that signaled the deadliest war in U.S. history. Antietam, Vicksburg, Atlanta, and Gettysburg nearly stemmed out the regional fire, but kept burning for 250 years. How do you think it could have clung to life for centuries? Let me know in the comments below.